Hey, welcome back, guys. So today on this video, we're talking about Chase checks, and more specifically, I'm going to quickly answer a question I've been getting a lot recently on my other video, and that is, how do you fill out a Chase check? So let's go ahead and talk about this. First off, guys, real quick video, not too many steps involved, so be sure to stick around to the end of the video. But why would you want to know how to fill out a Chase check? Well, that's pretty easy. Maybe you run an online company and you pay most of your vendors through ACH or Zelle or Cash App or things like that. However, sometimes certain vendors will only accept a paper check from you. Whatever the case is, it's a pretty easy process. Check my video description. I'll try to leave all the written instructions there as well. But here in front of us, we have a image of a Chase check. So I'm going to show you how I normally fill out a check. So first off, what you want to do is you want to look at your name and address here on the top left. You want to make sure this information is correct, because if it is not, you probably want to go ahead and update it, especially if this is going to be for some sort of e-commerce business where they're going to be shipping you something. So if you're buying products from a company, if this address is not correct, you might want to go ahead and correct that. And usually what you want to do is just put a line through it and then just type in, write in the new address. So 234 Oak Street. Also, a lot of checks do not have your phone number. So this is optional, but if you feel like that company may need to contact you for some reason, you can go ahead and put your phone number there. So 310-232-4759. Again, that is optional. However, if that company needs to contact you, like maybe it's some sort of an urgent shipment or something, it's good to have your phone number there. Now to the most important part. So pay to the order of. So this is who you're going to be paying. So if you're going to be paying a company, you want to make sure that you put their full company name there. Same thing with if you're paying a person. So for example, if you're dealing with somebody and you know them as John, you want to confirm what their name should appear on here. Because if you write it out to John, let's say John Thompson, and then that person takes it to their bank and their bank has their name as Jonathan Thompson, which is basically the same name, however the name does appear differently, they might have a problem when they go to try to cash this check. So to avoid any kind of issues, usually when I'm going to ask my vendors to do is send me an email confirming how their name should appear on the check. And that way, if there's any kind of issue later on, I have it in writing that they requested that name specifically. So they would email me back as jewelry123. All right, so there is their name. Now, sometimes they're going to have Inc. or LLC at the end of their name. And if you ask them to email it to you, that's going to put the responsibility on them. So if they omit the LLC, then you don't need to put that. That's going to be up to them. And that way, if their bank rejects it and then you get some sort of a late fee, you can refer back to that email saying, hey, you told me to put jewelry123. You didn't tell me to put jewelry123 LLC. Okay, so that is pay to the order of who you're going to be paying. And usually what I'm going to do is after I put the name in, I'm going to go ahead and put a line through here. Anytime there's any kind of a blank space, I always put a line through, and that way someone can't come along behind me and change whatever's written there, especially when you're talking about amounts. Okay, so here on the date, this one is pretty obvious. You can write this in how you want. Usually what I will do is I'll do August 23, 2023, or you can go ahead and put in the numeral version of it, 08-23-23. Either one of these will work just fine. And right here, we're going to go ahead and write the amount. So if we are sending a payment to jewelry123, let's say we're going to do it for $123. And if there's going to be change, usually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a line here, a diagonal line, and then here, since we're talking about change, I'll do 100 here at the bottom. And let's say that we have to pay them 50 cents, $123.50. I'll just do 123.50. And usually I'm going to go ahead and try to fill up this entire box. And once again, that is to help prevent anyone from coming behind me and filling in more numbers. Okay, so now that we know the dollar amount, we have to write this out in words. So we're going to start here, $123. And then we have to put the 50 cents in. So usually I'll do the and symbol, and then I'll put the same thing we did over there and just do 50 over 100. And I pretty much filled up this entire line here, so that's good. But still, I'm still going to go ahead and put a line right here. So if you write really small and you only fill up this part, usually I'll go ahead and put the line through here as well. That is optional, but again, it just helps prevent somebody from coming behind you and filling in more numbers. Now this box down here on the bottom right is going to be your signature, so you'll go ahead and just sign your name there. My signature generally is not legible, but that doesn't really matter because this is the signature that Chase has on file for me. Okay, and then we're almost done. So right down here at the bottom, memo. So this is completely optional, but I always recommend you fill it out. And there's a couple of different reasons for that. One is if you're sending a payment to Jewelry 123, the chances of you remembering what this payment was for 5 years from now, you're probably going to forget. So usually I'm going to go ahead and write in a memo, and that way if I reference back to this check, I know what this payment was for. So whatever you write here would be something like, you can do invoice number 232, or you can go ahead and write something that you're going to remember. So gold for Expo, and then maybe LA for Los Angeles. So this is completely optional. The other reason you might want to fill out the memo is because if you're sending this payment to this company, Jewelry 123, you're probably not the only one sending them payments. So if they receive thousands of checks a day and one of these checks gets disconnected from your order, they can easily reference back to the invoice number that they had sent to you. And that way there's not going to be any issues applying your payment to your account. So it's both for you to remember at a future date, and then also if the payment gets lost, they're going to know where to apply this check payment. And that's pretty much it for filling out a Chase check. Just so you're aware, usually this is going to be the account number down here. It's going to be 9 digits. And then your account number is going to be right here if this company is asking for the account number for some reason. So my account number is 10 digits, but I have seen them different amounts depending on when you had opened your Chase account. So this is going to be your account number. And then lastly, this is going to be your check number. So 1234. And the check number is also printed up here on the top right, as you can see, 1234. And lastly, if you are sending a paper check you filled out for your Chase account and you're going to send it through the mail, sometimes these vendors will ask you to take an image of the check and then just email it to them. So you can easily just snap a picture of this and then email it if you wish to do so and let them know that their payment is on the way. So to recap, the most important parts of filling out a Chase check: the name, make sure that you get the name correct, and then you can have them email you, and that way it verifies exactly how they want the name to appear. Also, the dollar amount, you need to be sure to write that out in words and then put these little lines through there, and that way someone can't come behind you and fill in more numbers. And then the memo, optional, but I would definitely recommend that just to help you remember and help them remind what this payment is for. So there you have it, guys. If you're wondering how to fill out a Chase check, that's the easiest way I know how to do it. If you know an easier way, be sure to leave a comment below. Let the rest of us know how you did it. Hopefully you found that video useful. If so, click thumbs up or maybe consider subscribing to my channel, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thanks again for watching.